All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Live from the Ley Line. I'm your host, Cameron Porter, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the fucking legend, Avery Knew It, in the
Crinkle
flesh with me.
cut fries,
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
I love it. I love it. Avery, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about this today. This is going to be a
Ab-
good one.
Absolutely. Is this episode 22 or 23?
23, baby. So,
23.
ooh, uh-oh. 23 is an occult number.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. That has a lot of significance in Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Freemasonry a little bit later in this episode. I've got some good shit with that, but
Hell yeah.
before we get into it, I want to tell the folks at home to give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe to us on Spotify, the YouTube. You can subscribe there. You can give us a like, give us a comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you didn't like.
Yep.
Don't expect me to respond if it's some shit I don't want to respond to, though. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard keeping up with it, especially old episodes. It's not something I never do is go back to the comment section.
Yeah.
Which I should be better about that. I should be checking the comments or at least have notifications on if a comment does come through, but I'm
Right.
slacking on that. But nonetheless, like and subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell us what you like about it. Join the Patreon. We got
Yep.
episode 17 is on there because it got pulled from YouTube. I
Yeah.
guess we spread medical misinformation, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. So if
Yep.
you want some misinformation, go to the Patreon. Okay.
Love it.
Yes, and without further ado, let's get into it. I think it's
Yes,
time.
sir.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
time.
the big topic right now, as it should be, it's horrible, horrible tragedy. The Maui fires.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna get into today.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And this is what is it? 22nd today? 23rd. Okay.
yeah,
Wow, the 23rd episode on the 23rd day. What's going on?
that is weird.
Whoa.
Yep.
Dude, the Illuminati's like orchestrating this,
Yeah,
planning it out.
for real.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
so
kidding,
I think
folks.
why don't you just kind of explain it to me and I'll just kind of tap into stuff that I've been hearing as well because I've seen some pretty juicy videos.
Yeah, bet. Bet. So I guess the best thing that we can do right now would be to just like talk about what the narrative is and what happened.
Yeah,
Um, sorry, let me type in some shit.
you're fine.
So on August 8th, there was a wildfire um that washed over Maui, which is it's an island. There's the island of Maui, and it's a whole county. So each of the islands are counties, and they got their mayors for each county. It's weird. They got a weird setup in Hawaii. It's very interesting politically.
Yeah,
But on the island of Maui, there was this fire that broke out, and because there had been a lot of this overgrowth from these African grasses that have been left by fruit companies like Dole with the pineapple plantations. I think was the
very
word for
interesting.
it. So it was this grass that was left behind. It's this non-native species to the island, spread over the
Wow.
island, and it lit on fire. It's really dry and it's drought resistant, so it just stays there. You have to remove it.
Yeah, wow.
And I think they were saying it covers like 25% of the island. This grass, it had spread so much.
That's a
Um,
lot.
I know, right? I know. And so a fire started and it burnt through this grass, and then it spread to towns like Lahaina
Yeah.
was the main town that got hit really hard. That's where you see a lot of the footage that comes out about this stuff.
Yeah.
You see the hell's that called? The like harbor area and the dock with the buildings all incinerated down into little piles. All that videos from Lahaina. Uh, and it's terrible. It's a terrible circumstance
Oh
because
yeah.
so many people had to escape running into the water, man.
Yeah.
Like there's videos of people like in the water. They turn the camera around. They show the town burning, and then they show themselves. And I think they just stay in the water for like hours.
Yeah.
which is I don't know if anybody's taken a shower that's longer than like an hour. You get pruny
Oh God.
super quick, and the pruning hurts.
I hate
You
that.
know, maybe I don't know. That might just be my little white boy talking, but dude, I get
No.
pruned up. I do.
Yeah. No, I hate that.
It's a terrible feeling.
I have to like rub my hands together for like ever after that because they just feel weird.
They feel whack. They feel
Yeah.
whack. There's some interesting theories about that itself as well. The fact that we do that. Some people say that it's like a natural grip that we get when we're underwater. And so because that happens, we create these little ridges for the water to go through and we can actually grab onto things. And so
Damn.
it might signify that we have evolved from a creature that was water breathing or just
Wow.
spent a lot of time in the water, which gives a lot of credence to the Atlantean theories and um, interesting stuff.
No,
Sorry,
that's
that's a
awesome.
tangent. That's a
No, it's
tangent.
fine. Yeah, yeah, it
Um,
makes sense. I mean, I have gills
yeah.
in
I
undisclosed
got some. It's
locations.
like I got some shark gills.
Yeah.
Fucking Shark Boy. That movie freaked me out when he had gills under his
Uh,
under his arms.
yeah.
Bro, imagine having to put deodorant on those things, dude.
Ew.
I want to tickle him on his gills. Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay, sorry. Guys, we're
Okay.
not being respectful to the fire. I feel bad.
Well, we haven't joked about the fire.
That's true.
We're
That's
not
true.
going to.
We're not.
No, yeah, not even that, but I heard that there were some areas where people were going into the water and stuff in the water was catching on fire too, like docks and stuff like that. So
Oh
they
my
were trying to
God.
swim away into more fire.
Dude, that's so terrifying.
Oh yeah.
That's such a terrifying concept. It's like apocalyptic, dude.
Yeah.
These people in Lahaina experienced an apocalypse
Yeah.
this like 2 weeks ago, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Um, and a really sad part about this too. So there was a hurricane. What the mainstream story is here, let me pull it up. The mainstream story is that there was a hurricane, Hurricane Dora, that was going around, and there was these winds, these high tropical winds that were pushing through, and were the little fingers of the hurricane were kind of touching on Maui, or yeah, on Maui.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is these winds, they say, exacerbated the effects of these small brush fires that were started. I don't know if they have any official story about how the fire legitimately started, but they say that these winds exacerbated. That's all they talk about. They don't
Of
talk about
course.
what started it.
Yeah.
Uh, and there's a lot of theories about it. I think a very plausible one is that there was an electrical company that kept all the power lines on during this high wind when it's not protocol to do that. You turn the power off as soon as the wind gets too high that you think these lines are going to become a danger, because they do. They touch shit and they burn, or
Yeah.
trees touch them and it burns.
Yeah.
It happens very quickly, but they just know to turn it off, but they didn't.
Fair. Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Ah, crazy, dude. Yeah, I'm sure that would be a let's just say this is all unwrapping and sounding very normal until we get further into this conversation
Yeah. Yeah. No,
about some
this
crazy
is like,
shit.
I'm reading from CNN right now,
Hmm.
folks. This is not the tinfoil hat version.
Right.
And
Yeah.
trust me, I've got plenty of it. I listen to all my red pill daddies, their opinions on this shit. I listen to
Yeah.
Sam Tripoli, um, Jimmy Dore. He's really good and informative and hilarious.
Yeah.
And Isaac Weishaupt. Shout out to him always. He's one of the best conspiracy theorists in the game. I would have to say. I give so much credit to this dude because he
Wow.
looks at a lot of occult symbolism, and um, he does the occult symbolism and popular culture podcast on Spotify
Yeah.
and Apple Podcasts. He's fucking fantastic. If we can get him as a guest one day, I would literally cream my corn.
Yep.
I would.
Yep. That'd be
um,
awesome.
he's the shit. And he's like seriously a grandmaster in this occult symbolism, and these telling, you know, details about things that it's like, yep, it's a call sign for occult activity. He's fantastic. But he was talking all about this kind of stuff, and he actually goes to Maui. He like vacations there and whatnot. And he said it's like paradise.
I've been
And
there.
so, oh, we've been there. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm jelly. I have heard only good things. I think my mom's supposed to go in December.
Yeah.
Um, so Hopefully they got it cleaned up or
For
something.
real. Yeah. I'm going to Honolulu in October.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Honolulu, is that like a smaller that's like one of the small ones?
I think that's the big dog.
Oh, Honolulu's the chungus.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh shit. See that,
Yeah.
you guys? I'm sorry. All I know is that Maui's not the big island.
Right. No, it's not.
And I'm pretty sure Maui has a volcano on it. It's the only
I
thing
believe you're correct with that
that's,
as well. Yeah.
that's all I know. Heard it's
Um,
paradise. But go ahead.
oh, nothing. I was just gonna say, yeah. So the freaking power companies, of course, conveniently don't turn anything off.
Yep. Yep. And just so you know as well, like, you know, these power companies, if you look up the holdings for this company, it's BlackRock and Vanguard at the very top, and it's at
Of
like
course.
20% ownership. And then I don't think they list very much or very many other ones. God damn, I butchered that. But what I'm thinking is that it's owned by the citizens. Sometimes, usually, that's what they'll do. With the local citizens have ownership of that stock as well. So it's not like just some private company coming in and robbing people. It's like, hey, we all own this company.
Right.
Um, but when you have 20% sway, and all you have to do is get 30% of those people on board, or at least to disagree with each other, and you can make all the decisions for it, you're in a pretty good spot
Yeah.
financially, you know. Um, but yeah, that was just an interesting thing that I'd heard about, was
Yeah.
the BlackRock and Vanguard ownership of this electrical company that decided to keep the power on
Of course.
during
So
hurricane winds.
that's your first clue, right? Remember that? Of
Yep.
course, it's owned by BlackRock and
Your
Vanguard.
spidey senses should start going right about now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
The
so
kids talk about school.
oh yeah, dude. So
Crazy.
these because of this hurricane, there was high wind. And so children were home from school because of this. Which is, I don't know why. Maybe because they were worried that, I don't honestly have no idea why they would
Yeah.
keep kids home during wind. I think wind is okay.
Yeah. I didn't hear, and like you usually hear like, oh, this hurricane's gonna hit crazy. Like be
Yeah.
prepared. I didn't hear any stories about the
Well, because
hurricane.
it wasn't gonna hit. It was just
Yeah.
wind. It was like, and the hurricane was so far away, but hurricanes are so powerful
Of course.
that those fingers can fucking get up there and have crazy kind of wind. But that's not uncommon. I was listening to a podcast with Mark Steves, the gentleman that we had a conversation with. Um, he does the My Family Thinks I'm Crazy podcast. And he had on a couple of Islanders, and they were explaining, yeah, they were like talking about how like high wind is, it's kind of a normal occurrence on the island. That's
Yeah.
that's what you it's what you get being in a tropical climate like that.
Yeah.
You know, right off the ocean. Places like San Francisco, the wind is crazy always, like constantly. It's just
Yeah.
there's wind. It's part
Oh
of it.
yeah.
Um, but either way, so these kids were all home from school, probably by themselves because their parents were both working because it's during the week. And then this fire hits. And so they're thinking that a lot of these deaths, a lot of this death toll are children, man,
Yeah.
which
So
is
there's number
heartbreaking.
two.
Yeah.
Power doesn't
Oh
get
yeah.
turned
I should
off.
probably pull it. I haven't even been looking at the list.
No, yeah, I'm just
Been
kind of going
vamping.
through it for the listeners. Like we're building up to what we think
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
crazy
I
conspiracy
tried
going
to make
on.
my notes like in order of craziness,
I love it. I love
let
it.
it climax like a good movie.
I love it. Power was left on. It's owned by the
Yep.
most elite owner thing that owns everything in the world. You name it, BlackRock and Vanguard own it.
Correct. Correct. They have, to quote Isaac Weishaupt, they have their fingies in every cake.
Yeah,
That's what he said, and it
the
fucking cracks me
fingies.
up. Yeah, it cracks me up every time, dude.
School was canceled for some unknown reason, and everyone's home.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
what's next?
These poor kids, dude. It's heartbreaking.
Oh,
Imagine being by yourself in your home. Um, oh, dude, and a big one that we haven't touched on. Maui has the biggest alarm system in the
oh,
whole
yep.
state. This is the main point I want to make. They are in the world, not the state, not the country. In the entire world, they have one of the most advanced and expansive alarm systems
Yeah,
for tsunamis.
for tsunamis and hurricanes. Yeah,
Excuse me. But if you look on the website, it says tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, and wildfires. It lists wildfires
Oh, really?
on the website. It does. But the alarm didn't go off a
Yep.
single time during the fire.
Yep.
Nobody set the alarm off. And I heard a really good rebuttal that Brian Callen, he does this podcast with Sam Tripoli. And listen
Yeah.
to me, I just love to talk about other people's podcasts
Right.
because it's all I do with my time is consume other podcasts. I do
But
my
yeah, we're
podcast and then I go and I listen.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I come back and I yell it to the people. I
A
get on my
student of the
soapbox.
art. That's all it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm just learning. And these
Yeah.
are my Ronin mentors.
Yeah.
I learn from them, my ways. But either way, Brian Callen was making this point. He's a hilarious comedian, by the way.
Yeah.
He's awesome, and he's an actor, fantastic actor. He was in The Hangover and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
He's good. Either way, Sam was trying to make the point that none of these alarms went off, and Brian said, "Well, they're tsunami alarms, and when you hear that alarm, you know it's for a tsunami. You go inland, you
Yeah.
go up a building, you go upstairs, and so these people don't have the association. Oh, wait a minute, I need to run to the shore because it's a fire." So
Right.
in his mind, it was a great point when he said it. I was like, "Damn it, yeah,
That is very, yeah,
he's right.
That's very
Like,
solid.
I could understand that why you wouldn't set the alarm off because you don't want more. You could make the argument that more people would die if you set the alarm off because they run inland.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it's distressing. They can't send out a text message. I get an Amber Alert when it's fucking 2-year-olds with her dad that she's not supposed to be with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why
Yeah.
can't the whole island get texted about a fire?
Right.
I
Totally.
don't
Yeah.
know. What are your thoughts
Totally.
about that, Avery?
Well, just another thing is like to argue back against that is like it also does list for wildfires on
I
there.
know. I
So how
know.
do they distinct it in general whenever they put it off?
Right. Right. And I mean, you hear the alarm, you think danger. You go outside, you don't see any wave, you don't see anything crazy, but you see smoke. You think, oh, okay, I can use my discernment, my common sense. I go the other way.
Right.
Like, let the people give them something.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are probably burnt in their fucking house, man.
Right.
That's the heartbreaking part.
Yeah. Well, and like with those alarms, it's not just an alarm too. Most of them, at least from what I know, have a little intercom behind it as
Yep.
well.
Like a little
And it
PA
goes
system.
tsunami, get inland, like
Yeah.
maybe why doesn't it just say wildfire?
It's a good point. They should have two separate things. But they say that this was like a novel event. I guess that this
Yeah.
doesn't happen ever.
Right.
And it had never happened on the island until something like this happened because of all this not native grass. But it's
Totally.
I don't know. It makes a lot of sense, but then there's also a lot of a little fishiness about it.
Yeah.
Um,
So the siren didn't go off.
yeah.
The next thing is for some reason everyone's water in the neighborhood was turned off.
Yeah, so the
The
town,
whole county or whatever.
yeah, they were all restricted water access to fight the fire.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a turn off valve and it was turned off. People were trying to use their hoses, and they couldn't
Yeah.
get water,
Yep.
which means they can't fight the fire.
That's horrifying.
Which it's so terrifying because it really seems like in this circumstance, everything was done, every step was taken to make it as bad as could be.
Yeah. Just imagine you
Kids were
go
home.
with your water spout and you're just trying to pull the trigger and it's just not working.
It's nothing. You get like the trailings the last time's watering. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So add that to the clue pile.
Yep.
Everyone's water was freaking turned off.
Which doesn't make any sense. Who makes that kind of decision?
Yep.
Who was it that turned all this water off? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know.
Yeah. All right. So the next one is one of the craziest ones to me. Freaking, why was everyone blocked in via police roadblocks?
Yep.
Why in the world were they told to stay put in their cars that got totally scorched, by the way,
Oh, I know
when
it.
they could simply evacuate?
I know.
What are they trying to do? Contain the fire? Are they worried people are going to be running on fire into other parts of the island? Like, no.
No, they were trying to probably maximize the damage. And when these
Yeah.
cops, so yeah, there was cops blocking roadways
Yeah.
out of Lahaina
Yep.
to keep this as bad as they could make it. I think personally,
Yeah.
but I don't think the cops thought of it like that. I'm
No.
sure they were like got a call and were like, "You need to block this road. Don't let anybody go. This is what I'm telling you. Follow
Yeah.
these orders."
Yep.
And so he's like, "Oh shit, okay, okay, follow these orders."
Yep.
You
Totally.
know. And by the way, folks, order followers get people fucking killed. The
Yeah.
Nazis were order followers. So please, for the love of God, have some goddamn common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, don't be rambunctious. If it's time to fall in line and serve properly, do that.
Yeah.
But use your proper discernment first. Don't just follow orders blindly, because this is what you get. You get people
Totally.
burned in their car because you didn't let them out of town.
Yep.
That shit pisses
Totally.
me off.
No, totally. You have that. All right. So this next one is crazy, and I'll talk a little bit about it. People can't figure out why the fire started officially. And an odd thing going on with it is a lot of the pictures show that the buildings and main structures and houses were wiped out. It looks like a bomb went off.
Yeah,
But then sometimes a little table with an umbrella is
it's fine.
completely unscathed while the building next to it burnt.
Yep.
Now, here's where the crazy theory comes in. There's lasers that there's a video of a guy posted a video of a cool test where you shine a laser at a certain color and something to do with the waves obviously is like resistant to yellow, or no, it burns yellow, burns red, but blue is resistant to this laser.
Mm.
And
And then
so
blue umbrellas were fucking up still.
yeah, so that was a crazy one that I saw. Like maybe they shined some new technology freaking laser beam at the houses, just lit
Well,
them
and
up.
there's crazy things that you see where the whole building will be burnt and a whole block of buildings, but then the tables outside the buildings are fine.
Yeah,
And there's trees on the backside that are fine. It's the fucking
yeah.
buildings all scorched.
Yeah, so that
Um,
is super crazy. It shows that it's very clearly a controlled burn in a
it's what it
way.
seems like. It's
Yeah,
what it seems like. I heard this very, very interesting theory. Um, this gentleman was talking about how potentially using these self-replicating what the hell, not mino, Jesus, what did he call them? Self-replicating microfibers, I think is what they're called.
yeah,
But essentially, what they're seeding the air with like they call it chemtrails or whatever.
yep.
But maybe they are using these God damn it, no, it was nanofibers. That's what I'm trying to say. I was
Nanofibers.
saying it's stupid. These nanofibers that are self-replicating, that they're able to control and move around potentially, or inject in certain spots.
Yeah,
They have the potential to steer this fire or keep things from being burned, like these
yeah,
rich people's houses that all have property up here,
yep,
including Oprah, who has property south of Lahaina,
yeah,
like 700 acres.
yeah. So that's a big juicy one too. Probably one of the juiciest parts of the whole conspiracy. I saw videos of lots of locals saying that there's been a kind of a battle going on because um the specific town that got hit super hard. I can't remember the name. You keep saying it. Lahaina.
Lahaina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently there's been kind of a battle between that local town and the locals and bigger corporations like BlackRock and stuff wanting to buy that real estate out from under them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been
Mm-hmm.
kind of a battle going on between that.
Dude, so I have a pretty interesting tangent. I didn't research it too much, so
Yeah.
people have to do their own research a little bit. And I didn't list it because I don't know if I could talk about it, but this is a perfect segue into it. So there
Yeah.
was this conglomerate of companies, and they're called the Big Five.
Yeah.
They were all sugar refining and growing companies. I think it was sugar.
Probably.
Um, but either way, these five companies, it was essentially an oligarchy here in this island of Maui, and they had been fighting for the real estate that all burnt up all that stuff that got burnt was all this land that was owned by the natives.
Yep.
So that's going to bring us to another point in a minute, but I want to talk about that as well. This land that was all owned by the natives,
Yep,
got burnt up, and it's all land that these people, these companies, this big five have been trying to get out from under these people for a long
exactly.
time, 100 years or more.
100 years. Wow. Yeah.
Like they've been colonizing and making sugar in that country since what? Since probably, before World War II, because that's when we already had bases and shit set up.
Yeah.
So probably well into the 1800s. We were going to there, colonizing, setting up plantations, setting up refineries, and exploiting that natural beauty of the island for these sugar and shit that we needed,
Totally.
which we don't need actually.
Right.
Shit the companies needed to get us addicted to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's another
yeah.
subject.
Sugar is worse than opium, dude. People get all
Yeah, it
mad
is.
about heroin, but they'll be super happy while they're drinking a Dr. Pepper.
Yep, that's a fair point.
And not saying that heroin's good by any means.
Right, right.
I mean, it might be. I've never tried it. So the jury's still out.
Right,
But
right.
I don't know. Sugar is arguably worse than a lot of hard drugs.
Oh, it is.
So eat honey, folks. Honey's the shit. Honey's so good for you.
Yeah.
A tablespoon of honey could nourish a man every day. If he only had a tablespoon of honey, he could live. Probably not super healthy, but he could live.
100%. Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's all part of the agenda, man. They want to move you away from natural sweeteners and things that are good for you, and they want to put you on these things that you're addicted to, like
Addicted to,
drugs
literally.
and sugar and MSG and these carbohydrates that have literally no nutrients, but your body fucking needs it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, when
Um,
your glucose is too high in your blood, I mean, it
yeah,
messes with everything, your
everything.
hormones, gut health, all that
Yeah,
stuff, and you're
yeah,
addicted to it.
I
Super.
know it. I know it.
Anyways,
Shit. Sorry, folks.
all
Sorry.
good, all good.
We're getting up on our soapboxes today, pretty heavy, but that's all right.
No, yeah.
That's all
I just
right.
wanna, these notes are really nice, so I'm just trying to keep it in order because we're
Yeah.
killing it. We're killing it.
Oh, but
Um,
really quick, what was I
yeah,
gonna say about these big five? I had one more fucking comment to make.
yeah, yeah,
It was that so of those five companies, most of them have gotten eaten up
yeah,
or folded up or bought out by other companies. And the only one that's left is this like it's something in Baldwin.
yeah.
There's a first word and then Baldwin, which I'm terrible. I should have done my research more
I
and
recognize
pulled this
that.
up.
Yeah.
But they are the largest landowner in Maui. They have more than the US government and more than the natives. So they I don't know. That's just an interesting fact.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
just
yeah.
shows the kind of corruption that's been happening and probably will continue to happen in this spot. This is
Yeah.
a paradise and everybody wants a piece of paradise, man.
Totally. Totally. Yep.
So, yeah, it's fucked up.
Tell me about this radiation thing.
Yeah, so I don't really know um how much veracity this has.
Yeah.
This was something that I had heard on Mark Steve's podcast that he did with somebody that lived in. I don't think they live on Maui. They live on the Oahu. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, they live on Oahu. Oh, excuse me. Fucking props to the chef on that one.
Uh-huh.
All right. um, they were saying that on the island, I guess there's a media block radius. So media is not allowed in the area. That's why you don't see a lot of footage coming out of it.
Yeah.
Um, and this might be outdated information. I probably should have done some research before I talked about it. I'm taking it right from them and giving it to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
So
all totally hearsay.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine. Yeah.
But it's so interesting. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it, regardless of if it's real or not. And
Yep.
that's another point too, is I think we shouldn't focus too much on was this directed energy? Is this a radiation attack? You know, I think the main focus is like, why are all these systems failing for these people? Why is the water turned off?
Yeah.
Why is the power still on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to humor a conspiracy theorist like myself,
Yeah.
I like to talk about those kind of things. And
Totally.
one of the most interesting things is they're not letting the media into this area, which would signify that, and they're not letting the people leave, which would signify that this might be a radiation event. They don't want
Yeah.
these people getting out and leaking this radiation to other people.
True.
They want to keep this a contained event.
Yeah. What's up with the roadblocks?
Yeah, what the fuck is up? That's the biggest thing.
That
Who the
shit's
hell
crazy.
I kept thinking about that all day, and I was like, how many cops? How many cars?
Yeah.
I could ram it.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
ram it. They're
I'm
not
getting
keeping
out.
me in. Are you fucking
Yeah.
kidding me? No.
Totally.
No. But either way, especially my Xterra, baby, I drive right over
Yeah.
them.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit. Um, but yeah, that was just an interesting theory, and I guess they had some friends that live out this guest that was on the podcast that I listened to. They were saying that they had some friends that day had felt like they said they used the word microwave. They said they felt like they got microwaved.
Huh.
And they just felt really weird, and they were eating a lot of seaweed trying to detox. I guess seaweed's good for that.
Oh yeah.
Um, I thought seaweed was only good for sushi, but
Right.
but I just thought that was kind of interesting, which would give credence to the theory that this is a directed energy weapon using these millimeter wave technology. It might
Yeah.
not even have to be from space. It might be local 5G millimeter waves
Yeah.
microwaving and frying this area. Which brings me into this other point that I also didn't put in the little notes, but I knew I would remember if I talked about this.
Yeah.
Energy or no, weather modification
Yes.
and the HARP weapon.
I love it. I love it. I've been telling people about that for so long, bro.
Yes. And it's legitimate. If people want to look it up, they should look up the HARP, HAARP.
Yeah.
The I don't even know what you would look up, like just a HARP machine, Alaska. Look it up. It was this array of towers that they put up in Alaska to study the ionosphere. And the ionosphere essentially, for my physics buffs, for my people that know what's up, the ionosphere is this basically like this pool of particles that are all around you all the time that can transmit a charge.
Yep.
And that's how weather gets affected. That's how an electrical storm starts. It's through the ionosphere. Is these the conditions are proper, the charge is high in the air. You have a positive charge, and I think a negative charge probably does the opposite thing. I think I think a negative charge is where you get like wind movement and shit. I need to look more into this. I'm literally talking outside of my ass.
No, it's fine. I just want to say real quick for people listening, this is in the conspiracy world. This is an old one. This was huge a while ago, but it's still crazy.
Classic. It's a classic.
Yeah, very prevalent to this day.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy is that the HARP machine or towers or whatever it is, the government basically uses that to create or amplify hurricanes because every time a crazy hurricane happens and it's a huge, tragedy, there's always something weird going on at the same time. Like I remember during Haiti, it was like right during some Afghan war or something in the Middle East, of course.
So that's, dude, I keep thinking, what are they distracting us from with this fucking Maui fire?
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening elsewhere?
Yeah. So if people didn't know that, the HARP theory has been around for a long time.
It's a classic, and we're dusting it off. We're taking it off the shelf, and we're blowing the dust off.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be prevalent. You have things like in LA, there's a fucking hurricane like touching the coast of LA right now. There's
Freaking
like
Hillary.
fires in fucking Canada. Like there's something going on in the ionosphere. Something bad's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing weather modification. And apparently there is a facility for that on Maui.
Of course.
There's a weather modification for the facility.
Yeah. Yep. Of course,
Um,
there is one on Maui.
and so I keep thinking about that. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
tell me, I think we're starting to get into some of the occultic stuff around this too, but tell me, because I didn't know this, about how globalists want to make Maui into a smart city. What is that?
Dude, it's a 15-minute city. It's gonna be the first one.
15-minute city.
You ever heard of those?
Uh-uh.
So it's like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a first on the Life from Ley Line podcast. I'm about to bring some information straight from the Ley Line,
Yeah.
and I'm charging it down into
Yeah.
Avery.
Hell yeah.
So this idea was created by the World Economic Forum
Mm.
and Klaus Schwab, George Soros, these globalist types. They want to create these smart cities. They call them 15-minute cities or smart cities, whatever you want to call them. But they're essentially, and this is like how they would say it at their little convention, wearing their fucking suit and shit.
Yeah.
They'd be like, it is a zero emission, high efficiency uh community.
Yeah.
And that's how they would explain it. But really what it is it's a free range prison that they put you in, and you don't have a car, you don't own any shit, you don't have any money that's real. It's all credited to your little town. You have town
Okay.
bucks on your town card.
Okay.
You don't have anything to trade. You can't pay a dude to take you on a plane somewhere. You just live in your little smart city and you're stuck. It's like an ant farm.
Wow.
And that's what they and that I get black pilled very quickly with the smart cities. It's a cool idea. Think about it. Like
Right.
a great example or a good um imagination of that idea is the Lorax. You remember the Lorax?
Yeah.
You remember that town they lived in?
Yep.
Thneedville? Or
Yeah.
what it just Thneed, right? There's no S.
Yeah.
Thneedville.
Yeah.
Oh, in
Sneed.
Thneedville.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking bop, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
Oh
watching that
yeah.
after this. I'm going to. But in that movie, for the folks that have never seen it, they essentially live in this town that's blocked off by a wall, and everything's concrete. The grass is painted on. The trees are plastic and they light up. There's no real trees anymore because the Lorax tried like hell, and the Once-lers still chopped them down.
Yeah.
Okay. That movie's so good. God
It's so
damn it.
good.
The story, I was like a little kid and I would hear the story and I'd read the
Yeah.
book, and
Yeah.
then the real movie came out. It was perfect. They knew what they were doing. They
Oh
waited
yeah.
until the kids were just old enough and then they released it.
Yeah.
It's genius.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's genius. But
All that shit is so yeah.
nonetheless, they have like a beach and a snowboarding hill and golf and this and that. All of it. They have everything they would need, so they never leave. Nobody's ever left.
Yeah.
And that's like the whole idea of it, is that's what they want to do to you. They want to lock you in, man, so that they can just leech
Yeah.
all of your resources from every good spot on the earth.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have any of the resources, and they don't want you to complain about it. They don't want you to post about it, and they don't want you to protest.
Yeah.
They want you to just
Damn.
shut the fuck up, get in your city. Shh, go on. Go on.
Okay. I
Here's
gotcha.
all you
That's
need.
insane. It's kind of like that tower they want to build in Japan where it's like larger than life tower.
Mm-hmm.
And on the outskirts of the building, you sleep and you have your little dwelling area, and then you just walk to the center of this tower for like every floor has a supermarket. And so you never leave this giant tower.
When you
It's
probably never even
insane.
leave your floor.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
probably what it ends up being.
Yeah.
They just lock you on your floor, man.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yes. So I guess there was a UN discussion. I think it was the governor did a presentation for the UN about making this into a smart city, Maui. And so this is perfect. It fits right in. They burn
Yeah.
everything down so they can pick up the land on the low, and they
Yep.
throw down a smart city.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's terrifying.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's terrifying. But then you think about it, and I mean, imagine how much fun you would have living in a smart city like that.
That's true.
Like you would have a lot of fun, but you would be having so much fun that you would have no purpose. And I know
Yeah.
for a philosophical mind like myself and you,
Yeah.
we would get so sick of the hamster wheel.
I was gonna say it would be really fun for like a year.
Literally. It sounds like a fucking cruise, and
Yeah.
cruise makes me claustrophobic. The idea of
I'll
it.
never. I will
I,
never go on a giant commercial
I
cruise.
go on a
Never.
cruise only if they have a gyroscopic fucking pool table because that's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
I'll fucking
Then
go
you're
for the
sold.
I'll go for the pool, man.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm so cool. You just gotta go and look up all you have to type in is poop yacht or
Oh,
poop cruise.
yeah, when people were like pooping down the side.
Yeah, because they're stuck and everything was shut down. I think it was because of COVID. So people had nowhere to use the
Uh,
bathroom, so they're just
dude,
pooping on the deck.
COVID was like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Can we just say, Jesus Christ, people forgot how to act.
Oh yeah.
They went back to monkey brain. Ah, good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord. But yeah, so I think that's a pretty interesting idea is that they want to make Maui a smart city already. And there's been talk about this
Yeah.
previously. And so this just kind of fits right into that narrative that they're going to burn it down so that they can build it back the way they want it. It's
Yeah.
exactly what they did with the Middle East. I mean, apart from destroying all the ancient artifacts and all the, true history of where we come from, they were
Yeah.
also running a.
Of course.
That's a whole other episode in itself. People are walking away, rolling their eyes. Look at them.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
All
all
right,
right,
but
folks.
before I have you tell me about 8-8 and the significance, I do want to just say last thing on the fires. Just go and look at an overview picture of the burn pattern of the fires as well, and that's also going to blow your mind.
Ooh,
Like you said, they perfectly avoid those giant beautiful houses, and yeah, it just wipes out everything else. It's crazy. It is pretty crazy,
let me
man.
pull it up. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, see if you can find one.
Um, all right, I'm gonna screen share and we're gonna look at it together, folks. Sorry for
Yeah.
the people that are just listening. Um, if you want to check out the video, it'll be on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Um, I don't even know what the timestamp is. I'd give it to you if I had it. Sorry, gentlemen. All right, screen share. Boom. Okay. So this is what the island looks like,
Yeah.
and this is where it burnt. So it's like all these coastal areas right here,
Yep.
all the way along this coast. This part of the area, man, it's so sad. Look at all this devastation.
I know.
But look at these trees that are fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and you could make the point that the trees that are right on the beach are waterlogged because they have a constant supply of groundwater.
Of course, I'm sure there's all kinds of explanations, but look at those super fancy houses right there that are untouched as well. Crazy.
You could also, and I'm terrible because I'm a conspiracy theorist and a devil's advocate.
Yeah, same.
Because another part where my mind goes is it's like maybe these rich people have the money to do fire mitigation.
Yeah, really good fire defense.
And
Yeah.
that's why their property didn't burn, is because they mitigated the fire properly and they knew what trees to cut down. They knew how much space to give between each tree. I don't know.
Fair. Very fair.
Yeah, it makes it hard. I don't like to poke holes in the theories, but ladies and
Right,
gentlemen,
right.
we have to be very empirical about this.
Totally.
Things that we can
Because
calculate.
yeah, you can't go full QAnon, you know.
No.
You got to be smart about it. Not
Yes.
everything is a conspiracy.
Oh, I know it. Well, I
Almost
mean,
everything is though.
almost everything is.
Almost.
Most things are,
Yep.
you know. If I closed my eyes and threw a dart and hit something, it might have a conspiracy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seriously.
It's not that
Seriously.
hard, but
That's a good point.
it is easy to get into,
Yeah.
into like a nihilistic black pill kind of perspective where everything's a conspiracy and everything's terrifying, and then you almost shelter yourself from the joys of life because you're so caught up in how terrifying
Totally.
life is. which you'll never catch me there, dude. I don't know if I care too much about the like structure of things for stuff like
Right.
that to like make me too sad,
Right.
you know.
Totally.
Yeah. I know regardless of if this, the Illuminati or the reptilians or BlackRock and Vanguard or whoever this deep state is that, and it's probably all of them fighting each other and we're fighting them as well. It's like one of those kind of things.
Yeah.
But they don't have enough control on my personal mindset and well-being enough to yet, I guess. You never know if they enact martial law and they just kind of shove us into little smart cities. They might
Yeah.
then, but that's when you fight.
That's when you fight.
God damn it.
Um, yeah. Beautifully said. I'm dying to know what the significance of 8-8 is, please.
Okay. So in astrology, 8-8 is a very important date. This is the rhyming section of the podcast.
Ready
No.
for my 5-minute cipher?
Yeah. He just throws throws it
Yeah.
down.
Enjoy.
No. So 8-8 is very significant. And I mean August 8th.
Yeah.
8-8 if you're looking at a calendar. Okay.
Yes.
It's a significant day because in astrology, that is when the sun is in Leo and it opposes the star Sirius. And they consider this the opening of the Lion's portal. That's what it's considered. You can look it up.
Yeah.
You can look up Lion Portal or Lion Portal Open or whatever, and it'll pull up 8-8 and it talks about all this astrology shit. It shows like a man with his face next to an ethereal lion.
Yeah.
And they're being hippies together, and it's fantastic. It's some
Yeah.
very like I don't know. They lose me in the weeds with the astrological like hippy dippy
Oh, me too.
serendipitous shit. It's like, all right, dude, okay, all right. But either way, sorry, I got to get off my soapbox today. I got a lot of opinions. I'm charged up after work.
I feel you. I feel you.
But on this day, this is supposed to be one of the greatest times for manifestation.
Mm.
And that this is when, if the saying the stars align was a real kind of thing, this would be that day where these are the perfect conditions for you to manifest what you would like to have in this world, And it's very interesting that this event would occur during the opening of the Lions portal when their vision is to create a smart city right there. And then boom, there's a fire happening and it's, could very well happen.
That is deep.
The number 8 itself is very important in, occult knowledge and esoteric teachings. 8 is the infinity symbol turned on its side or like turned upwards.
Yeah.
And so what I take that as, and not, it's not me. I didn't fucking come up with this. I came up with this. No, it was these occultists, but it's the connection between the spiritual and the physical, or death and rebirth.
Yeah.
Or manifestation and regeneration. It's this idea, because you need death to have birth,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And so they move in this cyclical pattern, just like an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people would argue birth is, putting that spiritual essence into a physical form, and death is extracting that physical essence or that spiritual essence back out.
Yeah.
And so it's very, it makes a lot of sense that they would use the 8 as the symbol of death and rebirth.
100%.
And so that's why I think 8-8 is so significant for these astrologists and these occultists, is because this is a day where manifestation.
Yep. Burn it down and rebuild it.
Build on top.
Yeah.
Correct.
Cool.
Isn't that so cool?
Oh yeah.
That kind of blew my mind. I had to listen to this was Isaac Weishaupt who gave this all to me. This dude. He's fantastic. I had to listen to his podcast twice because I wanted to download all of it. And shout out that dude. I should probably join his Patreon and start commenting and be like, hey, dude, I steal info from you all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
shit, thank you.
Yeah.
One of those kind of things. Give him his
Right.
due diligence. Give him a little Patreon Skrilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Um, made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Made a lot of sense.
Awesome.
But yeah, um, and another interesting thing about this whole thing, and I kind of touched on it with what the opening of the Lions portal is, where the sun is in Leo, which is the Leo constellation. For people that don't know, there's constellations around the Earth, and the sun moves around to these different constellations, and they call them houses. In the house of Leo, in the house of Aries, this is where you get your zodiac sign.
Yeah.
When you're born, your sun sign is where the sun was where you were born.
Right.
And all the planets correspond to these different spots in the sky, or the zodiacs rather
Yeah.
correspond to a different spot in the sky. Um,
You're
very,
such a Leo.
yeah, dude, I know it. I know it. It's tough. It's tough. When's your fucking birthday again?
January.
January. You're Capricorn?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay, you're
Yeah.
late January, huh?
Yeah. Super end of the last day of January. Yeah.
Yes. It's interesting shit, dude. The zodiac, it makes a lot of sense if you do the proper research.
Right.
But
I
these
just love
yoga
the way they
pants
get you.
bitches that do
Yeah.
not know anything about astrology
I love the way they
pretend they
get you,
know.
bro. It'll be like you see yourself as a very strong person who, is very loving and giving to people, and then you're like, "Oh, that is
Like,
me."
that's me for sure.
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna have a great tribulation in your life,
Yeah.
and your love is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no,
Yeah.
she said she's waiting, bro.
Oh, that
It's
shit
like, dude,
cracks
I
me up.
I could say so much general shit that is
Yep.
gonna apply to your life.
Yep.
I know. That's where they lose me in the weeds, man.
Oh yeah.
But it's so interesting and compelling when you can meet somebody who has like a deep understanding of this
Yeah.
and then gives you a reading. And
Yeah.
they're telling you things about yourself that you don't even want to like accept or know. And you're like, God, what the
Right.
fuck? You don't feel comfortable. Ooh, get out of my
Yeah.
head.
Totally.
know?
Totally.
And it's a different kind of thing. And that's when you can feel like, wow, okay, there's some veracity to this. This is real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. I had this teacher at Yampa. Her name was Kether. Shout out Miss Kether. She's awesome.
Yeah.
But she did a class about basically astrology and the zodiacs because Yampa is awesome. And
Yeah.
you could do a class about snowboarding and go snowboarding every day.
Hell yeah.
It's one of those things. It's sick and get credit for it. Yampa's the shit.
Yeah.
Yampa's the way you should do school. Let
Yeah.
kids pick what they're good at and what they want to do, and
Totally.
then have somebody that's good at it and likes to do that kind of thing too, and show them a proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they've done with the school system, making us all into fucking factory workers does not work.
No, it doesn't.
Didn't work. Excuse me. It didn't work for me. I mean, I'm still smart, and I'll play your system, and I'll
Yeah.
get my little diploma, and I'll wear my stupid fucking square hat, and I'll get out of there.
Yeah.
But it's just not set up for people who, especially, oh, I don't want to speak out of school or talk down to anybody, but somebody with a proper intellect and proper common sense, that is not a place for you to thrive.
Yeah.
It's a place to box you in and cut that out of you. Like
Totally.
Rick Sanchez says, school's not a place for smart people.
Yeah.
That's but that's a Rick and Morty line, and you shouldn't quote cartoons for philosophical discussions.
Totally.
Oh fuck.
That's great.
Oh, good lord.
What else?
What else? What else is on here?
Something about a dog.
Dude, yes, the dog star.
Yeah.
Sirius. Oh, I was gonna talk about this. So yes, it's when the sun, pretty sure it's when it's opposed to Sirius or when it's closest to Sirius. I can't remember what they use for it. But either way, it's significant. And this star, Sirius, is the dog star, as they call it. And interestingly enough, that's the name of Keanu Reeves' band. So I don't know. I don't know what that
Of
means.
course it is. Keanu Reeves is such a mystical creature.
He is a mystical man, dude. He's
Yeah,
like if a samurai was still a thing, he's what a samurai is.
100%. And
He
not
like
just because he's in a samurai movie.
yeah, no, it's just because he is a samurai.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear the story? This is a small tangent, but did you ever hear the story that I think it was Nicolas Cage told about he like called Keanu Reeves, asked him to come over and hang out. Keanu pulled up on his motorbike, like his little fucking crotch rocket, all fast as
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
He's looked fresh as shit, smelled amazing,
Yeah.
beat his ass at pool for
Yeah.
like an hour, got back on his motorbike and dipped. I was like, that's a gangster right there. Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God. He's like a little fairy. He just
Yeah.
floats in,
Yeah.
beats ass, and gets out of there. Gets out of there quick. He's
That is
too
too
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Okay, sorry for the tangent though,
All
because
good.
I just love Keanu Reeves. I try to take every opportunity I can to talk about that fucking
Yeah.
that little devil. He's the shit. I can't wait for John Wick 10 when I'm
Yeah. On God
when
coming
I'm 35.
2050. Yeah.
They better keep going. That's
Yeah.
something you could never stop.
Yeah.
Just have him keep moving to different countries.
Yeah.
John Wick 35,
Yeah.
Lithuania. You know?
Yeah. The possibilities are endless for sure.
Oh, I fucking love it. Okay, so serious, dude, the dog star.
Yeah.
So they call it this because the constellation, uh, the what the hell's the name? It's like the major Canis or the Canis Majora. It's the name of the group of stars, and it
Yeah.
creates this constellation that looks like a dog. And Sirius in Greek mythology was Orion's dog, Orion the hunter, who is also a
Yeah.
constellation.
Right.
So it's very telling. And that goes back to my point that I fucking hammer in every time. And one day I will have the head of that nail flush. I will have hammered it all the way down,
Yeah.
but I will continue hammering. The fact that these people keep telling the same fucking stories about these very important things that people they're trying to disregard now. Like
Yeah.
all these stories like Orion and his dog Sirius that have this big importance in, how the fauna of the land came to be.
Right.
Very interesting stories. The shit I'm such a nerd. I just fill my mind with old stories and conspiracy theories.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna be somebody's rambling uncle someday, dude. I know it, and I can't wait. I can't.
I'm
All
right
right.
there with you. Yeah.
Either way, the Sirius star. So
Yeah.
this star, they call it the blazing star in Freemasonry, and this is what they use as the symbolism for the sun. So anytime you see a sun referenced in Freemasonry, they're not referring to the sun; they're referring to Sirius, the dog star.
Yeah.
And how they describe it is just as the moon reflects the sun reflects Sirius. So essentially they're saying like that's where the sun's energy is coming from,
Right.
you know. And I mean, I don't really know what that means too much. I'm not a Freemason yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I'm a free agent. I'm not wearing
Yeah.
any jersey yet. So shit. I might become a Freemason. I might have to. Just for
Yeah.
the arcane knowledge, bro. When
Yeah.
they ask me to eat the baby, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out. Can't do it. That's my line right there.
Yeah.
Can't chew on them. Won't do
No.
it. So
That's
all the
awesome.
Freemasons listening are fucking probably not
Pissed.
listening.
Yeah.
uh, speaking of, dude, this is a small tangent, but I want to get a Freemason on to do a little interview. You remember the guy I was telling you about, my mom's boss?
Yeah.
I'm gonna text him at some point this week, and I want to try and lock in something. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Oh
Do
yeah.
like a little interview with a Freemason. He
Yeah, that'd
didn't
be
say that
awesome.
he would talk too much in depth because you're really not allowed to.
Right.
But he said he'll do like a yes and no kind of thing.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So, um, but that's what these Freemasons refer to as the blazing star, and it's also been referred to as the morning star,
Yeah.
which is the morning star in occult symbolism is they're referring to Lucifer, this Luciferian light, the
Yeah.
morning star. It's the first light of the day, the first one bringing light before even the sun.
Right.
And in their beliefs, this Luciferian religion, because in this religion, I wanted to touch on this last week with your dad,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to I didn't want to come off like I was like trying to like defend what these people believe, but I just
Right.
wanted to like clarify. They don't think that Lucifer is the devil. They
Right.
they have this Gnostic belief, this inverted belief, which goes into what your dad was talking about with inversion. They
Yeah.
have this inverted belief that the God is a tormentor God, and he has trapped us in this realm of consequence and punishment. And the Gnostics called it the Yaldabaoth, this creature that trapped us here.
Yeah.
Um, and then Lucifer, or this Promethean character
Yeah.
that brought knowledge to man, brought fire to man. This is the true God, I guess they call it. I don't know if they necessarily call it the God, but this is the
Right.
benevolent force in the universe.
Yeah. 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 It's
But I
important
just
to know that. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how they think about it. It's not like they're necessarily doing overt like Satanism, devil worship. They don't look at it like that.
Right.
They don't
Right.
see it in that way, you know,
Yeah.
which is very interesting. I love looking at all the different ways that people look at shit, and you know how different groups of people will take and invert things and apply their own meaning to it. It's interesting shit. Very
Totally.
interesting. Um, have you Small tangent. Have you heard about like the lost stories of the Bible too much, or like done
The
much
lost
research about them?
stories.
Like the lost books of the Bible.
Well, I just know that they took out the Book of Enoch, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Other than that, not really.
So I don't even really know enough about it to try and talk about it, but I guess there's just stories that were left out, like the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, back to like Enochian magic, um, that is the Enochian language is the language of God. It's how you speak to devils. That's what King Solomon was working with,
Right.
right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. And sorry for the fucking big ass tangent. I got to go
It's
on this
fine.
because it's something I've been doing research about like the last 2 weeks, and it's like a
Yeah.
personal like passion project. It's just
Yeah.
so interesting to me learning about, because we did the episode about Aleister Crowley, and I'm always on this constant journey learning about magic and learning about these esoteric things, reading
Yeah.
shit. And um oh no, I lost my train of thought.
About
Oh, Enochian.
yeah.
King Solomon. Okay, okay, okay. What these occultists use, Aleister Crowley, they're using the Solomonic rituals and the Book of Solomon. Or I don't know if they call it that. I think there's a different name for it, but it's essentially he's got this whole book about how to summon and control demons.
Yeah.
And he has this ring, the Ring of Solomon, that gives you
Yep.
protection and power over these demons. And he teaches you how to create your talisman, which is what this ring is.
Yep.
And it's very interesting and compelling shit. And I had never heard about it until I started doing research about Crowley. I didn't hear
Yeah.
that during learning about Christianity or at
Of
Sunday
course.
or at church. I didn't hear about that shit.
Yeah.
And, we've had this conversation, with your dad and whatnot, but, I like the darker side of that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
some people like Batman. I like the Joker. I think he's
Yeah.
cooler, you
Totally.
know. And with this kind of stuff, not saying that it's like I'm picking a side, but it's so much more interesting to like get into demonology and
Yeah.
this like it makes you scared. And when you're scared, it's addicting. It's
Yeah.
like sugar. That
Oh,
kind of fear,
totally.
you feed on it. But either way, these lost books, I guess they just touch on things like the Enochian language, where you can talk to demons and talk to God, which is like that's like the language of the gods, as they say. They use plural.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even what even put me on the what put me on this tangent. Yeah, so I guess there's the Book of Enoch, the Prada Evangelion, the Gospel of the Infancy of Jesus Christ,
Oh
the,
yeah.
the Infancy Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Jesus Christ, the Gospel of Nicodemus, the Apostles' Creed, and the Epistle of Paul, the Apostle of the Laodiceans.
Yeah.
And so I
Apostle
guess
Paul.
those are all according to my very quick Google search.
Yeah.
Those are the lost books of the Bible. I just wanted to see what you had to say about that. That was something I learned about this week.
No, it's super compelling. The one you mentioned in there, it's probably about the period of Jesus's life where he just kind of disappears for a while. You
Yeah,
know, they don't really touch on that very much.
he's just walking around.
Yeah.
There's like,
Vibing.
yeah, he's just vibing, bro. Bro, he was in Lahaina hanging out with the Maui people, bro.
It was
Shit.
so vibey.
He's like, I heard they got Pineapple Express here.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've touched on it before, but there's a theory that he went to Egypt
yep.
and learned all about that stuff.
In Tibet,
Yeah.
there's accounts of a man showing up in Tibet, like this master of spirituality that basically like was coming for teachings, but taught them more than he fucking learned.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
Love it.
It's such an interesting thing. God damn it. I go balls deep on that kind of shit.
Oh yeah,
I love learning what they're trying to keep from us.
as you should.
It's so important. It's so important. I wish I spoke Hebrew or could read Hebrew,
Oh yeah.
because then I would really go deep. Because that's what most of these old books are written in.
Yep.
These lost texts of the Bible, they were all written in Hebrew.
Totally.
And when it was translated into Latin and then subsequently English, I think a lot of that was lost
Yeah.
on purpose. I don't think it was like, oops,
100%.
it's all gone. It's like these
100%.
motherfuckers were like, dude, we can't teach these peasants how to talk to demons.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those,
Yeah.
which I get. You shouldn't just let any Joe Schmo talk to a demon.
Totally.
But hey, maybe if it's not so Joe Schmoed, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I talk a big game. It would be so terrifying to talk to a demon, dude. I wouldn't even
Well,
want to
yeah.
invite that kind of energy into your life. You don't want to play with any of that kind of stuff. I'm afraid to even own any of the books that these motherfuckers have written. I don't want to keep them in my
Yeah.
house.
Me neither. I don't play with that.
It's, you never know what you're inviting into your energetic space
Yes.
when you're opening a book like that, because dude, it's called spelling for a reason. This English language was crafted in a particular way so that our words are all magic. It's all a spell. It's all binding. And so I think that's why it's so important to like first of all, watch what you say
Yeah.
about certain shit. And like words have a lot of power and energy associated with them. And that gets pretty woo-woo. They're like, ooh, what fucking energy words? It's like, no, but seriously, I mean, they've done tests about it. Somebody will call water a cunt and the fucking water freezes all bad. But then you're like, I love you, water. And it freezes beautiful in this like fantastic mandala pattern. And it's like,
I love that.
Why?
There's experiments like that with plants.
Yep, exactly.
Talk bad to a plant, it dies.
Yeah, or even fruit. Fruit will like they pull it off the vine and immediately start saying good things to this one, bad things to this one.
Yeah.
And one of them rots way faster. And it's
How
the negative
crazy
words.
is that? Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
And that's tangible, That's real.
It's something you can do at home.
Yeah.
That's why I need to start talking better to my fucking house plants. I'm killing plants. I'm bad.
I'll send you a Snapchat video of our house. The
Dude,
jungle.
I wish that we could grow a jungle. I barely get one plant to grow good, honestly.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. They need to
Yeah.
call like, plant services on me.
Yeah.
Not a good plant parent.
Right.
I don't know what to do about it.
Right.
I think it's just some people got it. Some
Yeah.
people don't. I think it's that time.
Should we wind down?
Yeah, I think it's that time. I said my piece about the Maui fires, and
this one's fire.
I think it's a good one.
Fuck.
I think it's a good one.
I shouldn't have said that. This one was cool.
You
It
bad
was
man.
really cool. That was unintentional.
Oh Lord. I would have went right over my head too if you hadn't
Yeah.
paused.
Fuck.
I would have called it fire right with you. But shit, hey, guys, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Don't laugh right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't.
So the last thing I wanted to say
Yeah.
before you had even said that, I was thinking about this, but I just want to make the point that regardless of what the reality is or what the theories are, dude, condolences and
Totally.
prayers out to these people.
Absolutely.
Like, all my love and energy to these families that have been decimated by this fire.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the kids because that's fucked up, dude. As a father, I think about that idea, the idea of my kids being home. And my kid, I only have one, but
Yeah.
when I'm older and they're at school, there's
Yeah.
three of them, and they're going to school. I'm gonna be sad if that ever happens. Even if like something bad, like there's like a little shutdown, and I'm not there for it. I'm gonna be
Right.
like, dude, guys, I'm sorry. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Let
I
alone a
hear you.
fire. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It really does.
Horrifying.
And I would say people don't donate to these big nonprofit companies that say they're helping out Maui. Look for local people that have little setups. Go to
Yeah.
GoFundMe, look up Maui. There's buzzwords, I'm sure. You can find somebody that is doing local shit. Don't
Yeah.
send to these Red Cross, big ass conglomerate companies with 1% give back rate.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally.
That's all I
Love it.
wanted to say. I just wanted to like end it with that because I think, we were talking all about these theories and we didn't really focus
Yeah.
too much on the like how bad this really is. And it is a tragedy.
Oh,
And I don't want
absolutely.
that. I don't want people to think that's lost on us. It's a tragedy.
Totally. Totally. No, and that's why I said like everything that we were saying also is just completely hearsay.
Yes.
We're not spitting anything crazy.
No, we're just fucking around with theories and they're so fun.
Yeah.
Theories are fun
Yeah.
at the end of the day. We
I
have a
mean,
good
if I
time
lived
with it.
there, I would be trying to figure out what the fuck happened too, you know?
Oh, me too. I know it.
I'd
I
be
know it.
freaking out that the water was off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the saddest part too, I was listening to, one of the locals talking about it and they were saying like, what it seems like right now is like this was so traumatizing and so fresh. People aren't going to be thinking about that for a while
No, of course not.
until it's not important anymore. And it was like he was already kind of predicting like, it's so traumatic that the people that it really did affect aren't even going to look so far into it. And they, might draw offense from anybody trying to be like, hey, did you look at this? Like, dude, my
Yeah.
fucking family just died. One
Yeah.
of those kind of things, which I
Totally.
get. I get.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, God damn it, Avery.
Yes, sir.
We've done it again.
Yep.
I
Banger.
love it. A banger and a half.
Yeah.
And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked this episode, give us a like, a follow, subscribe, 5 stars. I talked about it at the beginning, so I'm not going to hammer you at the end, but you know what the drill is.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
All right. I love you, Avery.
Love you too, bro. Big dicks in your ass.
Big dicks in your ass.